Yeah, hello, greetings. Nice of you to stop by again here on my channel Bastelkeister. Today I want to show you the ultimate load test of the Parkside PMSG 200A1. Of course, I will also carry out these tests with the alternative devices so that we have a comparison. Because all three devices actually weld very well, as I have shown in my extensive tests, that it works. And now it's actually about which machine can withstand the most. Here in our test series, the weakest machine according to the nameplate is the Parkside. We'll get to the nameplate on the back in a moment for all three devices. I'll show that too and explain something about it. The second strongest machine according to the nameplate is the MIG 200D3. And the absolute king, that's the Susum's MIG 235 with the longest duty cycle. And that's what we're going to determine here in the test today. Whether that's actually the case or whether it's all just waste paper, what's on the nameplate, well, then I'd say let's turn the machines around and look at the nameplates. Yes, let's start with the Parkside. What do we have there on the nameplate? Yes, it says 22 volts, 160 amperes, and 20%. Yes, what does that actually mean? Yes, this 20%, that's the duty cycle. The duty cycle is always determined over a period of 10 minutes. That means if I weld with 160 amperes and 22 volts, the machine should switch off after 2 minutes because then the load limit would be reached. That's how it's calculated. And I'll set up an experimental setup later so that we can weld for that long. I'll prepare something else and then let's see when the device switches off. Important in the whole thing is of course also the ambient temperature. Now it's relatively cool here in autumn. That fits perfectly, that's no problem. That's great for our test. Ideal is always around 20 degrees. Now, of course, if I weld somewhere in Alaska, I can, of course, weld much longer than the 2 minutes, probably, if it's cold there. Or in Saudi Arabia, where it's 50 degrees in summer, then I can probably only weld for, I don't know, a minute and a half, then the machine switches off. You have to take that into account as well. But as I said, our machines here have such room temperature. I'll measure what we have here in a moment, 20 degrees or a bit less, maybe even here in my garage. But that doesn't matter because we test all three machines at the same time with the same temperature. Okay, then I'd say let's turn the second device around, the MIG 200D3. Now with the MIG 200D3, we're naturally assuming shielding gas because I'll perform the test, or rather in the MAG process, we see here that the device, let's say, has a duty cycle of 100%. That means I can weld continuously for 10 minutes at 155 amps and 20 volts. And the device shouldn't shut off. Now, of course, I'll use the same settings later as with the Parkside. I'll go to 160 amps and 22 volts, and purely theoretically, this device should weld quite a bit longer than the Parkside. I'll naturally limit it at some point if I notice it's still welding after 3 minutes or so. Here, for example, it says at 200 amps, this device would weld for 6 minutes at 24 volts. So that's really good. I mean, that's quite amazing. Now let's see what the MIG 235 has on its nameplate. So for the MIG 235, it even says that at 180 amps and 27.2 volts, which is an extreme amount, it has a duty cycle of 100%. So that's almost unbelievable for this small device, which is why I'm doing this test to verify it. Good, then I'd say we've discussed the nameplate so far. If you have any questions, just write them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Yeah, then I'd say I'll finish my test setup and then we'll get started. So this is basically my experimental setup here. I've hammered 5mm flat steel bars together here. It's 2 meters long now. And yeah, I can go ahead and start welding at the front and weld along the 2 meters. And if necessary, I could also weld back by just turning the torch and welding back. Yeah, that's my plan. I hope it works out. I don't know exactly how long I'll need for the 2-meter distance. Well, we'll see. Today we have 16.4 degrees. I've now increased the maximum to 24.5 volts. That's what the maximum the machine can do here in the MAG-MIG process. My hose package smells a bit, but wow. So that's already quite impressive. The device is now showing a casing temperature of 30.5 degrees. Yeah, now it's cooling down again, of course, because it's turning off. But right after welding, I just had 33 degrees. What I noticed was I had the feeling as if the machine or didn't have its full power afterwards. So it somehow kept getting worse. There was more and more burn through. I should actually connect a clamp meter during my next attempt just to see what's actually being delivered. Nevertheless, we're moving on with the test. So the park side, let's say with its 20% duty cycle, is a bit of an understatement. So they could specify significantly more. As I said, I set it to maximum and I couldn't kill it at these ambient temperatures. Okay, then I would say, let's connect the blue one now, and then we'll see what it can do. So now I've set up the MiG 200D3 here. Now let's see how warm we are. Also 16 degrees. Now that I've carefully welded the distance together, the machine has... So it was about 30 degrees, so 36 if you go further down. Yeah, I would say it was approximately 34 degrees, and yeah, it did not shut off either. I can definitely give a brief conclusion now compared to the Parkside. What's clearly more fun for me is, of course, this power surplus up to 200 amps. Especially when welding thick materials, it's quite a different story. So now finally we're testing the Suzemse MiG 235. So the MiG 235 is also around 15 degrees. Yeah, the MiG 235. I just realized we haven't even seen in action with the MAG process yet. We'll catch up on that this evening. One problem we still have here with the MiG 235 is that it doesn't show the amps. It only shows us meters, meaning the wire feed speed per minute. That means 12.5 meters per minute and 26 volts. That's the maximum the machine can do. The great thing about the MiG 235, you notice it when welding longer distances, it has 4-step. I can set it here. I just need to start it. And then it welds. And when I'm done, I just have to press it again and let go. That's already very pleasant here. Yeah, I'll just start with the highest value now because I'd say it would easily manage the 160 amps. Well, let's see how it goes. See you soon. The ground clamp, the cable, everything's steaming. But nonetheless, for that distance. And if you take a look at the seam that reminds me most of real welding compared to the other two machines. So that was quite a pleasure. So it's actually the case that this machine has the highest power output. The MiG 235 is only at about 28 degrees after the performance it just delivered. So it's really crazy that it's not more than that. Great. Right, let's get to the conclusion. All three machines passed the stress test. Welded over 2 meters at full power. Yeah, who welds that much in the hobby sector? Such long continuous seams? The only thing I noticed is just the performance of the different machines. You could tell when you turned them all the way up. Last place goes to the Parkside. It lacks a bit of power at the top end. So if you want to weld something thicker, yeah, you do notice that it's lacking some power. With the MIG 200D3, it was already much better. You could weld quite well with it, even thick chunks. But the crowning glory is, of course, the MIG 235 here, which that really reminded me of welding on thick chunks. It performed very well. The only thing you should probably change on this device, if you're welding that heavily, is definitely a good ground clamp with a thick cable, because that started smoking, as you saw. Yeah. For me, first place goes to the MiG 235, followed by the MiG 200D3, and last place goes to the Parkside, but only because the power is just a bit meager at the top end. Yeah. I hope I could give you an insight here. And yeah, if you liked it, then give it a thumbs up, leave a sub, and take care until my next video. Bye.